Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Big Chill Podcast. This is episode 856, Arsenal are ruining football. Hello, Big Chillians, and welcome back to the Big Chill Podcast. I'm Frank, joined as always with Eddie. Eddie, how's it going?
Yeah, things are going pretty well. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm recovering from another rough pickleball weekend.
Oh yeah, you sent a message saying you wanted to
tournament
quit,
in.
which I think it's like this 9th time I've received a message from you saying that you want to stop playing pickleball.
I fucking hate it.
It's like an abusive relationship because then the
really
following
is.
week you're right back at it.
It really is. I mean, it wasn't for the fact that it was like it's slightly, like good conditioning. Like it's a decent workout. I would not be doing it. But there's not much else right now, especially in the winter, to really get a decent workout and doing something that's a hobby / sport. This was a debate I actually had with people there. This is when I was getting very angry, was I was saying it's really frustrating because I'm losing to people in a fucking hobby because I refuse to call it a sport. It's part of my anger towards pickleball.
Yeah. So what went wrong this time?
Well, I think the main thing was I did a little too much. So it was a Saturday-Sunday tournament. Saturday was men's doubles and men's singles, and I did both. The men's doubles went pretty well. My partner was good, definitely a lot better than me, had been playing for several years. We had never met before, let alone played before. Super nice guy. We had fun together. We're kind of similar, he's competitive, but realizes it's just pickleball, but takes it a little too seriously. Gets more pissed at himself, when he messes up and doesn't really care if I messed up or like vice versa. We did pretty well. We made it to the bronze medal match and we actually were winning in the bronze, but ended up
bronze medal match. It's the Olympics.
Yeah,
now.
we went 4-2. Like it wasn't bad. Like we did decent. And then lost in the bronze match. And then it was fun. Like, and I learned a lot and I felt pretty good coming out of that. Then I did the singles and my record was terrible in the singles, but I actually played really well. Like every person I played.
To clarify, the singles, it's on the same court because I saw that they've started making
skinny courts.
Yeah,
that's what they call it, skinny singles.
Mini tennis court where you're removing the doubles alleys. You're just on the full court.
Yeah, no, it's just full court. My record sucked, but I played really well. Like every match I had, I was either like leading pretty late on or like just lost. Besides, I think my first one, I sat for 2 hours. So I was kind of rusty and I didn't bother to warm back up. So the first match was kind of rough. But after that, I was doing pretty well. Felt pretty good coming out of that. Thought the mixed doubles the next day was going to go well. I had learned a lot. And then mixed doubles came. We started off 0-2. It was rough. We got our groove. We went 2-2, and then we were up 10-9. It's 2-11. 10-9 with serve against the best team that ended up winning the gold. And I fucking hit a terrible shot that cost us the point. They got it back, and then they ended up winning. And then after that, I was just fucking done. The next match, I hit like 5 straight fucking terrible shots. I literally was like this close to walking off the court. Like it was the closest I've been. Just like I don't want to fucking finish this match. We're down 6-0. Like fuck this, I'm gone. And we ended up crawling back, and then we just fucking lost that match. It made it even more frustrating. I think we lost that one 11-9 as well. But like I was doing good, but the mental part is just not there. It's so frustrating. And it's frustrating because I'm at a point now where like I know what shot to hit and I know where to put it. And I kind of have a good idea of like what they're going to do. Like I'm pretty good at understanding what people are going to do. I think I'm actually like a little above the people we're playing. Like I can see the shots, like what's going to happen. But I just can't physically do what I'm supposed to do. Like the technique just isn't there. And it is so fucking frustrating.
I mean, you haven't been playing for that long. I don't think you should be
I
too hard
know,
on
but
yourself.
it's still annoying. Like the fact that I just can't hit like a lob that just goes over the net and doesn't just pop up over and then they can smash it. Like the inconsistency is just so frustrating at times. So, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to quit just because there's not much else to do. So we'll keep going. I think we'll probably do another tournament maybe in 6 or 8 weeks and see if we've gotten any better. But we were definitely more competitive this one than the last one. Like every match we lost, besides, so we lost four. 3 out of the 4 we should have won. Like we had them dead to rights and like on serve to win and lost every time. So I guess that's an improvement. The other thing that sucks about doubles too is it really sucks when you're never clicking at the same time. That's a really annoying part where like when I had good matches, it was like her worst matches. And then when she was really on, I was the one letting us down. Like there was only probably one match where we both were just on fire and I think we beat the team like 11-1. But other than that, it was always like one of us was kind of bailing the other one out. That's really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I I loved in tennis, I loved playing doubles, but it is true that when you're having an off day, felt like it was and part of the reason I loved playing doubles was because it brought a team element into what otherwise is an individual sport, and I liked that. But when you're having an off day, it's a pretty lonely place because,
You're the
again, there's
letdown.
no yeah, like, it's there's an inescapable sense that you're costing your
Yeah.
teammate, and it's not yes, you can play a bit more conservatively and sort of try and just reduce unforced errors, but it's not like other team sports where maybe you could try and become a bit more of a passenger to, like, a greater degree. You still have
Yeah.
to hit shots, like, and
To
probably because you're playing badly, you're gonna get picked on as well. Like,
yeah.
so you become the target, and your teammate becomes less involved as a result, and it kind of spirals from there. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's tough when the team is just a team of 2, It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's like either you're the good one on the team or you're the bad one on the team. There's no, like, "How'd you do?" "I did okay, I didn't wasn't the best, but I wasn't the worst." You either are the best or you're the worst on the team, and that
yeah,
that kinda does suck.
yeah. I mean, I can still remember being a teenager and playing in tournaments to this day. I can remember playing with people who just absolutely let me down in crucial moments. Like I can remember it 100%. I can visualize points and stupid mistakes that they made over and over again where and like I was never a negative teammate. I was always very positive of like, "It will be alright, like, don't worry about it, it's okay." But when you're saying that the 7th time in 3 games, like, "It's alright, don't worry about it, like, it'll be okay. The 3rd double fault doesn't matter, it's fine, like, it'll be okay." It's like, "You've just been broken twice in a row, that's not a big deal." But, it gets a little bit harder to handle for sure. Which is why I like this morning I played in my paddle dynamic, which was
The
slight
12-year-old?
no, it was slightly older group. So my morning group, there's like a bunch of guys, as I said, my age. None of them were really here today. So it was mostly the older guys. One of whom turns out was on the French Olympic team and Winter Olympic team in 1988, was a skier.
Oh,
So went to the Olympics, did not do well. He openly admit that, but still a former Olympian, pretty cool.
yeah. Did you ask
Um,
him about the Olympic Village? Did he get down?
I didn't ask him about that, no. He's just showed me his scars, like his literal
Oh, damn.
scars. That was some pretty nasty knee scars for sure,
Ugh.
just like injuries he's had, his knees, and then he topped it all up because then he'd had, an infarction
Yeah.
and so then he lifted up his shirt and just had down his chest and just his whole chest had been cut open. So I
Open
was
heart
like,
surgery.
"Oh,
Yeah.
man, you're just like Frankenstein, just like scars everywhere." It was pretty nasty overall, but yeah, but I like that because 'cause I'm Roger Federer in that group. I mean, we rotate who I play with. Like, I'll play 1 set with each person, like, of the 4. This
Yeah.
morning, my teams the 3 combinations, 6-1, 6-love, 6-love. Like, it's just
Nice.
just it's just great. My ego, I skip out of playing with them. I'm on top of the world. It's and that's like and again, I enjoy it, and for me, learning how to play the game, in a sense, like, sometimes having those where the ball's moving a bit more slowly and I get to kind of work on something within my technique while I'm playing, I I think it's actually kind of positive. It's not boring, but that's still with me playing like, there'll be moments where I'm hitting a volley and I'll be like, "Oh, I could just put it in 30% of this court is wide open. I could just put this away, and I'll hit it back to one of them so we can keep going for a little bit." But,
Yeah.
yeah, had my first paddle-related injury, though,
Uh-oh.
on Sunday, I think it was now. No, Saturday. Saturday I played. Just strained my calf. Just
Ooh.
went moved and, like, just felt it, and I kind of felt it go then over the remainder of playing. It just kinda gradually just got a little worse and worse, and I was, like, trying to stretch it out as I was playing, but I also didn't want to really disrupt the flow of the game, so I should have just, like, really paused things to really stretch it out, but I was, like, in between points just, like, trying to briefly stretch, and then someone would be like, "Oh, is your leg okay?" I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it." And, the next day I could barely walk, so that was not fine, but seems to have recovered pretty well. Also, whilst we're doing the catch up, car update, had my first real
Accident.
encounter road rage. Full on
You
full
were the
on
road rager
no,
or
no,
you
I'm
got
never
road
gonna
raged?
I'm not a road rage guy. It doesn't it's
You got
I
road
find
raged.
I find it too amusing, and this guy I was heading actually to the wine bar that you and I went to. I was driving up
Oh, yeah,
there
I like
for
that wine bar.
couple drinks. And on the way there, Saturday evening, I was doing 38 into 30. I think that's
Is that kilometers?
yeah.
That's a slow
That
fucking what are you on a bike
third
lane?
30 is like standard. There's
Yeah.
lots of crosswalks, there's schools, 30 pretty much all the roads around here are 30 kilometers an hour. And yeah, I'm not gonna drive at 30, but I'm also not gonna drive 45 into 30 and be
So, let me ask
50%
this. You're doing 38 and a 30. Is there anyone in front of you? So
no.
or do you have the opportunity to go a little faster?
Could go faster, but
Okay.
there is literally a crosswalk every 150 yards, and
Okay.
people here will just the expectation is you will stop. So people don't even it blows my mind. People don't even look. They just enter the crosswalk. So, like, I mean, and people will be, like, pushing a pram and just pram goes out into the crosswalk. Like, it's unbelievable. But to fully paint the picture, so I'm on a it's 2 lanes, obviously going in different directions on this road. There's traffic lights probably at the moment this started 100 yards in front of us, and I'm doing 38 into 30.
Is it green or red?
At the moment in that moment, I think it was probably green, but it ended
Oh,
up
you're an
being red.
asshole then.
Ended up being red.
Yeah, because you're fucking slow poking down the road.
This guy behind just starts going on the horn, and
Wait,
then
while it's still green, like,
no,
as you're approaching it,
as we're approaching, yeah, he's just going,
and it's
and
turned
then
red.
no, we're not the traffic light at the moment is not even in his mind. He's
Oh,
just
okay.
frustrated at
Okay.
the speed at which I'm driving, and then
Okay.
pulls up, goes to overtake me, but pulls up alongside me.
Wait, is this a multi-lane
No,
road, or
he's
is
on the
one
wrong
way
he's
each
now
way?
one way each way. He's now on the
Yeah,
wrong
yeah.
side of the
Okay.
road, which, okay, to overtake, fair enough, but he's now
Okay.
just on the and now we pull up to the red light. He just stays in that lane. So
Oh,
it's
so
just the
he's in the wrong lane of
yes,
traffic.
yes. Rolls down his window. Now
Wait,
I
wait,
have
wait,
to
no,
do
wait,
the
wait, 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 I have to stop. Does he
yeah.
actually roll it down,
No,
or
no, no,
does he
no, he's
push
in
the
actually a
button?
pretty nice car.
Okay, okay.
He's in, like a quite nice I think it was an Audi, it might have been a BMW. It was a pretty
'Cause it
nice so
okay,
slightly black tinted windows.
okay.
You know,
'Cause there's
you
a
can
great,
tell.
like, I don't know if you ever saw the Conan, when Kevin Hart and Ice
Yeah,
Cube are in the car and they're talking about like if you have road rage and you got to like manually roll down the window and like yell at someone. He's like you can't fucking yell at someone. Then you got to like roll it up for 5 seconds. You look like an
yeah.
asshole.
Well, you wanna think about looking like an asshole. Now, I find this very funny, but so he rolls down his window. Now, my windows don't roll at all, automatic or not. They po they pop
So
out.
you flap it up.
I flapped
Tell
it
me
up
you
because I
flap it.
'cause I wanna know what he's saying, so so I pop it out so that I can get a good sense of exactly what's going on, like, even though I could definitely hear him clearly through the minimal glass I have anyway, I wanna make sure he knows that I'm participating in this conversation. So, then he asks me, he says, "Why are you going so slowly?" Like, he's very angry. He's like, "Is your car broken down? Is you got some kind of problem?" And I was like, "I'm doing 38 in a 30. Like, I think that's, I'm technically speeding." And he was like, "Oh." So he's like, "Oh, it's unacceptable." Yeah. And now I will say, again, the theme in these types of interactions, I think he was surprised to see me behind the wheel. I do think he was expecting a 17-year-old and then sees it's a man. So there's definitely a slight already there was a slight change. I was older than him. Was like that already, I think, shifted the dynamic he thought he was gonna be entering
I
into.
like the idea though of him being like, "Is there something wrong with your car?" And you being like, "No, fucking look at it, dude. What do you expect?"
Well, that's the thing I don't get. You see cars like mine all over the place. It's not as
Yeah.
if
What do
this
you
would
want
be
me
a
to
f
do? I'm not in a fucking BMW. I'm in a fucking Hot Wheels car.
so there was that element to it, which is like, "W what do you mean you thought it was broken down?" But anyway, so then he says, "I have an
Now,
emergency."
are you engaging? Are you saying
I
like,
mean,
"I'm going 38 and a 30?"
I'm kinda trolling him, but I'm engaging.
Okay.
And he 'cause
You're
what I
like,
think had
"Fuck
set him
Arsenal."
off, I'm thinking back at it. What had set him off was as he'd gone to overtake me, I gave him a little toot. I gave him a little honk on the horn because it just it
On
as
on the fake horn.
yeah, because as I've mentioned, because as I've mentioned before, it amuses me because it is
Yeah.
just kind of funny and it's not intimidating at all. So then he goes, "I have an emergency. I have to get somewhere quickly." I was like, "Whoa, well, if you've got an emergency." And he was like, "And you're honking your horn at me, that horn you got." And he went, "That horn you got." As he said that, I just went, little beep, like straight at him as he was as you say that, he was like, "Exactly, that horn, beep it again, beep it again." So then I gave him a little double beep, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, beep it again." So then we just had this moment of him telling me to beep my horn and me beeping my horn, which was making me laugh a lot. Like, I found this to be a very funny interaction. He's still just sitting on the other side of the road. Fortunately for him, no traffic has come in the other direction, but he has no complete disregard for the fact. And then I was like, "Well, what are we gonna do now? You're on the wrong side of the road." He goes, "I'll let you go first. I'll let you go first. I'll
What?
be the good guy. I'll let you go first." I didn't I was like and now at this point, the traffic, it turned green, so I moved ahead. I was turning left at this intersection. He also had to go left, which surprised me that he followed me because I thought he would have just, like, decided he was gonna go a different way. So then he ended up being behind me as I then went 30 on the
30.
nose, on the
100% you go
nose.
30.
I was
Yeah.
like
Well,
so
I'll say this. In America, you don't do that. In America,
I could
you,
get
like,
shot.
back up, and you're like, "You go ahead, man. Do whatever." Like, you don't beep at someone when they say, "Beep your horn again." You're dead by this point. You're not turning left. You're currently dialing 911 because you've been Ricky Pearsalled. Like,
The
this is
sad thing
over.
is too, I wouldn't because of how my horn's positioned, I wouldn't even get the good, like, head on the steering wheel with the horn blaring. I would just be just silently sitting there. But
But
yeah,
in France, yeah, you drop it to exactly 30. I mean, you don't have cruise control, but if you did, you'd set the cruise control and you go 30.
but yeah, and he had to then follow me for an additional probably 2, 3 minutes, which I
Did
could
you get to any lights that were, like, green and then you intentionally slowed
no.
down to try and see if it would turn red?
I did go over a speed bump very, very slowly though. That was the most satisfaction I got out of it, was really
Oh, I
going
love
over the
it.
speed bump as slowly, but yeah.
Road rage is so crazy. I mean, it's an insane thing to see from people.
Yeah. Like, I can get everyone, you get a little frustrated with someone from time to
Yeah.
time. I get it. I'm not saying I'm immune to the idea of occasionally
Like
being
if
like, "What
something
what the fuck are
yeah, if
you
they're doing
doing?" Like,
something bad, yeah, of
yeah,
course. Like if they cut you off or if like they almost cause an accident, then I think you have a right to be angry at them.
yeah.
But if you're just angry because someone isn't like driving as chaotic as you want to be driving, but they're driving within the rules and regulations, then you're nuts.
Like, I was on the phone as I was driving last week, and I hit, like, this traffic jam, and this guy was being an asshole, it was, like, trying to merge, and everyone else is abiding by the, like, 1 in, move along, 1 in, move along, and I went to do that, and he was adamant that I was not gonna slip in, so then he tried to force his way in, which just kinda ended up blocking both of us. I was on speakerphone on a this was like a call, not a personal call, and I'd sort of forgotten as I was then watching this. The person knew I was driving, but I up until
Yeah.
that, it'd just been us having a conversation, and then the person was speaking, and then at that moment, I just was, like, reacting to what this person did, so I went, "Well, what the fuck are you gonna do now then?" And and the guy was like, "Sorry, what?" I was like, "Oh, sorry, so sorry." It's just
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I cannot imagine having full red mist just because someone's driving a bit more slowly than you want them to be. Like, that bit is confusing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a nice 8-hour road trip on Monday. That was fun. Driving through Minnesota, South Dakota, as you'd expect, not much going on. I love when you pass some of the signs where it's like now entering and it's like a random town name and it's populate. I swear to God, I saw one that said population 37. That's it. I was like, oh man, 37. Does that change now? Like
Year to
when the
year.
next guy dies, do they like have to change that sign to 36?
That's always the interesting thing to me. Like, you'd think
How
you just
often
do
is it?
40 and
Yeah.
you got, like, plus or minus 5 on that, that's
Bill, you
okay.
can't die. We just
Yeah.
replaced the sign. We don't have enough money in the
Yeah.
budget to do it again. You gotta hold on, Bill.
Like, it is
Give us another year.
it is an interesting one, and I guess it's like an annual census, and then you're just but yeah, how quickly are they updating it? It does seem a bit bizarre, but yeah. Now, yeah, obviously, you have to look forward to next week, you gotta drive pretty far too to pick up former co-host Sam, so you get to go
No, it's only like 40 minutes.
oh, well, it's still a long way to pick up a guy who quit the podcast.
Yeah, it's true, but I do wanna go to this town. There's a pretty cool bar that,
Mm,
supposedly has, like, really good food, so I'm gonna go there for lunch, and then I'm gonna pick him up.
okay.
"Hey, Sam, you hungry?" Yeah, I'm pretty hungry." "Oh, cool, I already ate, so if you want, like, McDonald's, I can stop for you."
But speaking of co-host Sam, I think the executives at Fox Sports have been listening to us because obviously we've turned co-host Sam into just a usage of now Google Gemini.
No, no,
Uh,
no, no, no. Do not put Sam on the amazingness of Google Gemini. He is
okay,
Copilot Sam. Do
okay,
not lump him with Gemini.
all right, Microsoft Copilot.
There we go.
Fox Sports has rolled out an app that allows you to interact with a AI version of Colin Cowherd.
Oh
So
my
you
god.
can now ask him for his hot takes, and it spins back a 45-second monologue answering all the questions that you might have about this world of sports,
Now, are we sure
which
this is AI or is Colin Cowherd just fallen on dark times and he's got to pretend he's got an AI app? He's just actually back there on the other side, constantly taking calls.
could be either. I would believe both, but I don't really know. Ultimately, this will just get used by drunk people in bars, right? Like or something stupid, like it's sending a message to your friend. Like there's no useful usage of this. It's kind of like what a waste of not only the time and resources that were put into building it, but the fact that like each one of those probably consumes a reasonable amount of water to process just so that we can so some asshole in a bar can say they won an argument because Colin Cowherd also agrees that LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. Like it's so stupid.
The guy who wrote that code probably could have reduced greenhouse gases by 15% if he put his
Done
energy into
something useful.
something beneficial.
You tell your parents that's what you're working on at the moment, like a virtual version of a sports hot take artist. Like, it's pretty sad.
Oh, I did not see that though. That's pretty funny.
Well, give it a download and test it out.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll pass.
Now, so I guess switching gears to the world of sports. Well, let's just maybe another quick lighthearted or maybe not so lighthearted. Did you see Tez Johnson, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Did you see the mini scandal that has engulfed him coming
Uh-oh.
out from
No, did he not stay with Bo Nix's family? Is that the scandal?
no,
Isn't that him?
no, this
That's him, isn't it?
no, that is him, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird semi-blindside situation that they had. No, his former fiancée came out. So he proposed to his fiancée who said yes, and she sort of told the story that it was one of the it was the proposal of her dreams, that they sort of walked into this nice venue and everything had been set up and he'd put a lot of thought into it, and obviously a
Okay.
lot of planning had gone into it, and she was over the moon and so happy, and then later found out that he had cheated on her that day, including sending a message to the person he was cheating on with, quote, "I need your throat," was the message that he sent on the
Oh,
same
is she like a really good singer?
I guess so. On the
Oh, did
same
she do
day,
the throat singing like for Christmas,
the
like your
Mong
family
the
does?
yes, or maybe she's Mongolian, she does that deep Mongolian throat
Yeah.
singing thing. But on the same day that he proposed, quite a cou like both ends of the spectrum on the romantic side of things.
I did hear this actually. I didn't know that was him. I just saw it
I'm pretty
said
sure it was him.
receiver.
I
Yeah.
don't wanna
No, I didn't
hopefully
actually
have it
see the name. I just saw it
yeah.
pop up, I think, on my Instagram.
Yeah, it's a great quote.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
it's gonna be a
that's
hard one to live down.
so that was part of her engagement of her dreams?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's what she was hoping for. That was the Prince Charming she'd hoped to stumble across.
Yeah. I mean,
I
why do
guess no
people
real
send messages? Like, not even like messages like that in terms of like what it actually says, but like if you're cheating on a fiance or the person that you've just become engaged to, why are you putting something down in writing to someone else who obviously there's a good chance they're going to be upset that they've now found out you're engaged and want to blow that up?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
I mean,
don't get I don't understand people. Like, I don't understand how people still in today's age are texting anything controversial to anybody.
well, I mean, I think we both have messages that we probably wouldn't want published, but and not in that sense, but but I certainly like, it's one thing if you're just a normal nobody, but yeah, when you're an athlete, you have to know, like, you're getting in the very least, you're getting blackmailed at some point. Like, this is the rest of your life, you're gonna be paying this person a sum of money because, like, I guess you could say, "Hey, I'm gonna pay you $100,000. Now you also bring me your phone, and I'm gonna have to be able to, like, delete this on your phone as well, like, check your screen, like but even then, how do you exhaustively check that every
No.
screenshot's been deleted and,
Yeah. Or that they didn't
like
send it to someone else.
yeah, like, you're screwed. There's just no way around it, and 6 months later, they can be like, "Oh, actually, I sent it to my cousin. They just sent it back. I will need more money." Like, what are you gonna do?
Hey, this got me to think this reminded me, I was thinking about this the other day. As someone who is familiar with the judicial system, maybe you'll know. NDAs, if you sign an NDA for like a specific person, like let's say like a famous one is like Justin Bieber, supposedly has everyone he hangs out with sign NDAs. When that person dies, Justin Bieber, not the person who signed it, is then that NDA gone? Then can you say whatever you want? Or is there some like post homin was it post hominis? What's the word I'm thinking of?
Posthumous?
Posthumous, yeah, posthumous.
Post Post-ominous?
Post-harmonious? Yeah, is there like is it still count?
So, obviously, not my area of expertise. I would presume that an NDA remains intact even once
Wow.
one of the parties has died,
Okay.
because you would still ultimately be damaging their reputation, right? Like, the chance of you being prosecuted, like, for them obviously being like, suing you is reduced. Obviously, it could be their estate or but I think from by the letter of the law, I would assume that that's a lifetime contract from you, not just as long unless the wording was literally, "You cannot release this until I die," that, which you could
Yeah.
potentially have, but assuming that's not the wording, I would think, like, if you came to me and said, "I have an NDA with," you know, who's a celebrity who's recently died. You had, like, a scandal about Ozzy Osbourne, and you were like, "Eddie, do you think I can reveal all about Ozzy Osbourne now?" I would guess that you could still be in trouble,
Hmm. Interesting.
but
I guess it makes sense, but it is unfortunate because then you get to never know how awful someone is.
well,
Which
they
is, I guess,
the
the
time
point
to
of it. I
the
get it.
time to do it is on your deathbed.
Yeah,
That's when
because
you do
then
the tell all, because then you
yeah.
don't give a shit, like, unless you then get revived, and then it's just like, "I'm back. Oh, no, you're facing a massive lawsuit." Like, this is whilst you were in a coma, you actually lost that lawsuit, so now your life is just been completely torn apart. I guess we can I guess NFL-wise, obviously, the combine was going on,
Yeah.
which
Freakish numbers
yeah,
this
Sonny
year.
Styles kind of blew everyone
Crazy.
away, the Ohio State linebacker with the numbers that he put up, but yeah, overall,
Insane. And then,
peop
Sadiq, the Oregon tight end, put up crazy numbers for a tight end, like some of the best ever.
yeah.
Um, Crazy. Like, I saw there was out of every position you could pull someone out that had numbers this year that have almost never been matched in any years, and it was like every position in this year's combine has, like, freak athletes.
But then this is the issue, right? Is because like, the level of effort going in now to optimizing performance for the combine.
Yeah.
Like, if you went back 30 years, people weren't, like, practicing for the combine, they were just turning up and showing you what they were capable of, whereas now these guys are spending, since sometime between December and end of January, their sole focus has been, "How can I improve my combine performance?" Which
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's
kinda
guys
defeats the
making millions of dollars just literally running combine training.
combines,
Yeah, like
which
APC, Athletic Performance Center, does it.
kinda defeats the purpose of the combine, in a way.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you could spin it and say, like, "Look, this shows how much a person can train and optimize their performance." Like, that's a good indicator for how good of a professional athlete they may be. But in a sense, like, the goal of the combine was to get your, like, raw athletic performance, and then now it's still your raw athletic performance, but realistically, it's like, I'm gonna run a 40 now, and it's probably gonna be the fastest 40 of my life. Like,
Yeah.
when I sign for when I join your team for training camp, I will be slower than I am right now, like,
A
without
lot
doubt.
slower. Yeah.
Like, so this is sort of remove 10% from all of my performance across the
Yeah.
combine, which maybe is what scouts are doing. They're just factoring that in, but it's sort of stupid. You're just, like, putting up good numbers so that Rich Eisen just also, I like Rich Eisen a lot. I do. Less so as an announcer commentator, but I do like the Rich Eisen show, and overall, I think he seems like a really nice guy. The shtick about, "Isn't this really big guy really fast?" We've got it. You know what I mean? Like, turns out everyone in the NFL relative to their size is pretty fast.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of guys where you're just like, "That guy's just slow." But every year, just the, like, "Look how here's another big guy. He's a lot faster than you'd think he is." No, he's an NFL player or going to be an NFL player. I expect him to be pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it does happen a lot. It's quite annoying. I think just as annoying too is the, like, "Oh my god, look at how quirky this offensive lineman is."
Oh, like the guy with the
Ev
mullet this year?
Yes, this year it was the mullet guy from Iowa, right? I think University of
Yeah.
Iowa. Like, every year, it's like, "Oh, you're not gonna believe what this guy eats." Let me guess. He eats, like, 7 packets of Skittles, 4 cheeseburgers at Culver's, like a dozen wings every hour on the hour. Like, I get it. They eat a ton because they burn 9,000 calories, but they're young kids, so they eat like dog shit. Like, I get it. Like, I don't need to hear, "Oh, he puts everything in a blender. He puts hamburgers in a blender and eats it." Like, okay, I get it. I've heard it 40 times now. I don't need to hear how quirky someone is just because they're like a weird lineman from some random place in the Midwest or something, like, enough.
Yeah, and yeah, and I mean, it almost makes it again seem like if you wanna get drafted higher, like, become
Be
fascinated by Legos or
be
something,
gimmicky. Yeah.
like I love Lord of the Rings and just
Yeah.
have, like, Lord of the Rings themed answers throughout all of
Yeah.
your combine, and, yeah, you're gonna have Rich Eisen losing his mind over you
We
and
really
kinda
liked this
throwing out
guy because he had such an analytical mind space on Lord of the Rings that he
yeah,
he showed us that he would be able to decipher defenses really quickly.
and you'll get them throwing puns into what you do, and that will make you more memorable for sure, like, it's probably the move. That would be my maybe we start a camp where other people can train them athletically, but we just encourage them to be slightly nerdy to make themselves more interesting. Like,
Yeah.
that could be the move. But speaking of college football, don't know if you saw, we obviously discuss NIL deals quite a lot. Mississippi's passed legislation so that NIL related money is no longer will no longer be taxed under Mississippi
Oh
income
my
tax.
god. So insane. I mean, Mississippi, they're just rolling in dough. They have no poverty in Mississippi, so
No.
why tax
Rank
anything?
rank 34th in education in the United
Yeah.
States and rank 50th in healthcare in the United States.
Yeah. No,
So
why
it's not
tax?
like
You
they
don't you don't need tax money. You don't
don't
need it.
don't need money to fund public services. Just
No,
keep
they definitely don't need it.
As long as Ole Miss win a few football games, who cares if children are dying at an inordinate rate whilst also not
Listen,
being able to read?
maybe it's not the worst thing because if they did collect it, they just would give it to a guy who takes dick pics and Crocs anyway. So what's the
That's
difference?
true. That's true. It's true. Yeah. They've been hit.
They're That's how they
Elon Musk has
solved that
gotten
problem. They're
yeah.
like, "How can we stop us from just giving money to Brett Favre?" They're like, "Let's stop taxes. It's the only
Yeah.
way it's gonna
Do
happen. Otherwise, he's
Doge
getting all
arrived.
our money."
Doge arrived, and they're like, "You are pumping way too much money into dick pics. Like, it's we can't stop you. We've tried. We genuinely tried to encourage things, but no, it's just cut off the source."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kinda crazy.
it's insane.
I mean, I
Like,
know
it's
there's
insane.
states, like that's a big thing as a professional athlete is going somewhere where you don't get taxed on your
But that applies
salary,
to
like
everyone.
Florida. I know it does. I get
But
it.
now you're gonna be a public school teacher in Mississippi paying more tax like, than Ole Miss's starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, that's shouldn't be happening.
The professor who has to basically fake teach that athlete because he can't give him a real grade because otherwise the university will fire him for failing the
Yes.
student, has to pay taxes, but the kid who isn't actually even showing up for class but is still getting an A is making more money and not paying taxes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. The guy squirting water into the quarterback's mouth in between plays, that guy's paying taxes. The quarterback, no, not at all. Like, it's insane. And the only reason why, Mississippi can do this, and this is just me, it's just because they have no professional sports teams. Because obviously, if you had professional sports teams in your state, then all the professional athletes would be like, hold on a second, why are the college kids getting benefits that we're not getting?
Yeah.
But as they have zero prospects of having a professional sports team, they can do this without worrying,
Yeah.
like,
Man.
and it's a smart move because you know that like Texas can't respond in kind because then all of a sudden, like, what, every Dallas Cowboys player is going to suddenly pay taxes. Like, it's smart. I guess Alabama could do the same pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Bobby Boucher is gonna be happy, right? Mississippi State Mud Dogs, he's gonna be rolling in dough.
What a different movie that would have been in the current era. How much NIL is Bobby Boucher getting, and how is he spending it?
Please
Not gonna
don't even put this out in the universe
I don't want
because
to
there might be
encourage
a
Adam
Waterboy
Sandler to
2.
make more
Yeah,
movies,
yeah,
but
there might be a Waterboy 2. I mean,
That's still
so there is someone that we talk about routinely on another podcast that we don't like very much and get annoyed by, but I stand by his take that Happy Gilmore 2 was one of the fucking worst things to happen as, like, to him, like, to that person personally, as a movie he, like, grew up loving and respecting so much, and having a sequel be made and be so crappy. Like, I stand by that feeling. Like, I was so upset watching Happy Gilmore 2, just being like, "This has ruined a lot of the enjoyment I got from that first movie that I probably watched 100 times at least through my lifetime."
yeah, see, I don't think sequels or prequels remove that from me. The only thing it does is, like, now when you say if you now said, like, "Oh, one of my favorite childhood movies is Happy Gilmore," you're gonna get a lot of responses of either, "Do you like Happy Gilmore 2?" or "Happy Gilmore 2 sucked," or, "Oh, you still like it even after Happy Gilmore 2?" Like, that I think is the problem is now every conversation is probably gonna involve the shitty part of it,
Yeah.
whereas you could have sort of spoken about it in isolation, but yeah, well, I mean, the only thing I will say is whilst I don't want Waterboy 2 to be made, nor did I mean, Waterboy the first Waterboy movie is fine. I don't, like,
Oh,
love
it's
it
great.
in any
It's
way.
so funny.
Like,
It's
but
such a funny movie.
it took us 15 seconds there to come up with a better plot for Waterboy 2 than they managed to come up with for Happy Gilmore 2 in
Yeah.
probably months of thinking, if not years of thinking about a script. Like, that's kind of
See,
insane.
that's where you're wrong. Adam Sandler put that together in one afternoon. He was
Entirely
like, "You're gonna
possible.
pay me how much? How about this idea? Alright, we're good."
And I don't mean this to shit on Adam Sandler at all. You could tell me that he's never put more than a day's thought into a single movie he's made, and I would believe it. Like, and that's not me. I like a lot of Adam Sandler movies. It's just sort of the way they come across, and I suppose that's part of the beauty of the thing is that it seems much more casual than it is. It's like a stand-up comedian where it's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm thinking off the cuff," but you're really not. But you could tell me that Adam Sandler's just walking around in oversized shorts playing pickup basketball, and then, like, Billy Madison pops into his head, and then he gets money and gets it made. I guess we have to talk about the Premier League, unfortunately. So, a couple
Yeah, a
episodes
very
ago.
disappointing result right on the
Yeah,
heels of us both saying that we think City are gonna fucking win out and win this.
yeah, and then so since then, obviously 2 matches, both Arsenal and City have played 2 matches. Um, City
One and drew.
City won at the weekend,
Barely.
but lost, lost to not drew with Nottingham Forest today, sorry, did not lose. Whereas Arsenal have picked up 2 one-goal victories, including beating Chelsea at the weekend and then sneaking by Brighton today. Were the better team for pretty much the entire match, and
Yeah. I mean, and
could be
I
the
mean,
week
you
that
could
definitively turns the tide in Arsenal's favor.
yeah, and you could argue that match against Chelsea, uh, maybe they weren't the worst team in there, but they weren't great in that match, and then Chelsea went down a man, and, I mean, that obviously changes a lot of that of that match after that.
Yeah, I th I think it's I think it's such a shame too because also the last week has Arsenal has not exactly put their best foot forward in terms of showing that they're deserving champions. The win against Chelsea, some controversy there. They definitely should have given away a penalty. There's, like, no doubt about that in my mind. They've got I don't begrudge them it in a sense, but Arsenal have adopted the tactic of, "We'll just foul everybody on every corner, and you can't call them all,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get away with them." And
Oh,
they're
it's
in a
it's
sense.
it's it's what the New England Patriots did, I think, for a while with, like, pass interference, I think that
Yeah,
was like, Bill Belichick will almost kinda say that, like, if you hold on every play, they're not gonna call holding on every play.
yeah. And they are calling the referee's bluff, and not only are they not calling penalties on every corner, I think they're sort of establishing precedent for, like, what is a penalty, and over the course of games, so then it's like, "Oh, we just won't." Yeah, Declan Rice can drag a player down, that's fine, like, we don't give penalties for that.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I mean, literally the one against Chelsea, arguably Declan Rice gave away 2 penalties over the course of one interaction because he handballs it whilst fouling a player. Like, it's quite impressive. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen it, but and I know, we've spoken about it previously, some listeners of the podcast just think I'm an Arsenal hater.
Well, you are, but also,
I hate
yeah, yes,
I don't
and
I don't hate the club. I do hate the style of football that they play.
you hate the current iteration of what they're doing.
Yeah, it's so boring. They've spent £1 billion to become the most boring team in the Premier League. Like, honestly, I think I would rather watch every other team, genuinely, and that's not being like, for a large part of the season, I would have not wanted to watch Wolves, but Wolves are actually quite exciting to watch now, so I can't even s
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a Wolves match than an Arsenal match, and it's just awful for the future of football. Like, you know, we spoke about it, right? Because you had a period earlier this year where you were like going because you started on Sky watching the Premier League years, and it would be the like 05-06 season, and you
Oh,
see,
yeah, love it.
and there's really entertaining football and there's good goals. Imagine what the Premier League season of this year will look like for Arsenal. It's just going to be own goals and goals from corners and in scrappy games. Like, there's not going to be, yeah, you can build tension, but nothing's going to look good.
Yeah. It reminds me of that video I sent you on Instagram about the volleys
Yes. Yeah.
that no one ever does it anymore. But when I watched was it the 05-06 one when Blackburn won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
95, 94, 95, yeah.
95, 96. Yeah, sorry, no, 05 to 6. Yeah. Like everyone was fucking ripping those. And it was like so exciting and so awesome. And like now, like you wouldn't see any of those. And that's just kind of like the same thing with Arsenal is like when I watched that, it was like a lot of matches where it was like, and then they scored in like the 85th minute to win it with like a big goal. And like it's like a really nice goal and like the place goes crazy. Whereas this year it'll just be like, and then Arsenal get awarded a penalty on something that definitely was not a penalty, and they won, and that's it. It's like
Y
so anticlimactic.
and look, to make it clear to listeners, I'm not saying Arsenal are the reason why football is where it is, why it's so boring. They are just advancing the reason why football is so boring. Pep Guardiola has a lot to blame for what he's done to football over the last 10 years, where it is like paint by numbers stuff. And it's the unfortunate impact of the sort of sabermetrics, data driven approach to football, which is shooting from 35 yards. It's a really low percentage play. We don't want you to do that. It makes a lot more sense for you to keep possession because, like, we found out, and Sam Allardyce was the first really big proponent of this in the 90s and 2000s. And I remember when he was Blackburn Rovers manager, and he literally publicly spoke about the fact that, like, if you get the ball in the opposition box more than your opponent does in yours, that you win something like 72% of matches, something stupid like that. So he literally is in favor of just kick the ball in the box, just put it in there, because either someone on your team will do something great, or one of their team or someone on the other team will make a mistake. So he would rather watch a goalkeeper kick the ball 70 yards up towards someone in the opposition box than sort of try and play football through people. Now, when one team is doing that and they're at the bottom of the table and they're scrapping for their lives, it's tolerable, even if you'd go, I'm glad that's not my team. But when it's a team that's been put together at the cost of £1 billion, and they may end up winning like, they have a reasonable chance of winning the quadruple, that's a sad statement for football. Like, it really is. And to kind of try and put that into terms for non-football, non-soccer fans, it would be like watching a team win the Super Bowl who just like punts on first down every time because they're like, no, we've figured out that actually if you just pin the other team deep, like that's actually more efficient than stringing together first downs, and it's like lower than the risk of throwing an interception. We
Yeah.
have a great punter, so we just automatically punt, and then when we get a turnover, we kick a field goal if it's in field goal range, and that's all we do.
Didn't we see that in the Super Bowl? That's pretty much what the Seahawks did. They just punted the ball deep to the Patriots and just shut them down
Well,
and
we
got it back and eventually kicked field goals.
I think when we really saw that was when the Patriots played the Broncos in the snow. That's when we
Yeah.
did really see that. That was just like a punt off. But, you know, and in a sense too, and this is gonna really annoy Arsenal fans listening to this, but I actually think they should be upset that they should want City to be close to them, because if they at least rise to the challenge in the final 4 or 5 matches of outplaying City down that stretch, beating City when they need to, when they play each other, and then that's super meaningful, they can at least point to the, "No, no, no, and when it really counted, we turned up and we played well." Whereas, as silly as it is, if they win the league by 10 points because City slip up a couple more times, I actually think that makes it an even worse title win. And again, I know people are going to completely disagree with me, but tonight was also the 5th time this season that they've had less possession than their opposition. That's incredibly rare for a team winning. Uh, 2 seasons ago when City won the Premier League, yeah, 20 no, last season when they only didn't have more possession than their opposition once. You know, like, again, because of the way modern football has, like, yes, in the 90s with Manchester United, who played like a little bit high pace and sort of tried to hit teams quickly, or even Chelsea in the 2000s, who were a bit defensive and tried to hit you on the counterattack a bit more. Then in those moments, yeah, you saw teams that would win, but with less possession. Now, again, because the sort of statistical approach says that if you have the ball more, you tend to win more matches. It is super rare to see a team being, like, I say consistently, but 5 league matches so far this season, whatever that is, a sixth of their league games to have had less possession than their opponent is rare.
Yeah, and I think current now markets are Arsenal are like 1 to 4, 1 to 5 favorite to win. So
Yeah.
this last
And
match here just heavily shifted it.
look, it's not totally over. They're 7 points clear. City have a game in hand. They play each other. So it could be a 1-point gap pretty soon. But it's just, as I said recently, I think Arsenal will slip up more. It's just that City will keep slipping up. It's just that's the problem. But the good news for Arsenal, like, not only is there reason to poke holes in their Premier League title winning race, but if they win the Champions League, we can do the same to the Champions League, because they've been handed a
Oh,
draw where basically every good team is on the other side, aside from Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, I guess. And I'm not even
I don't-
sure.
yeah.
And Bodo Glimt, I guess we can't disrespect Bodo Glimt.
Well, I don't know if you saw. I think it's the last, maybe even more than this, but like the last 10
10
Champions League
seasons, yeah,
winners
are all
are
on the other
all on
side.
one side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not only it's 2, like, just teams that have historically won the Champions League.
Yeah.
On the same side as Arsenal, there's not a lot going there. So it's, you got Barcelona, obviously. And so for those, try to visualize, on one side of the draw, you got PSG playing Chelsea. Um, then you got Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter, and City, then all on that other side. And
Crazy.
then on Arsenal's side, you have Newcastle, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid,
Sporting,
Spurs,
Bodo Glimt.
Bodo Glimt, and Bayer Leverkusen, who they're playing in the next round. So realistically, they'll play Bayer Leverkusen this round, which they should. The likely future Premier League champions should be beating a team that's not even competing to, like, not in contention to win the Bundesliga this season. So you should expect them to beat that. In all likelihood, whilst the Bodo Glimt Cinderella run may continue, they're probably playing Sporting in the next round, which, again, to be in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, playing a Portuguese team, you have to feel great about yourself. And then if everything goes to form, yeah, they've got Barcelona in the semifinals, and then a tough final, kind of no matter what happens on the other side of the draw. But, you know, they're favorites. They're definitely favorites, obviously, against Bayer Leverkusen. They're definitely favorites against either Sporting or Bodo Glimt. They're
Oh,
probably favorites
let's go
against
Bodo
Barcelona.
Glimt.
Yeah. They're probably favorites against Barcelona,
Yeah, maybe.
and in the final, it would depend, but it's just depressing. And again, as an Arsenal supporter, I think this almost upsets me. The only thing I'll give them here is Arsenal have never won the Champions League. So, whereas the Premier League, if you're our age, you've seen Arsenal win the Premier League multiple times. So I think this is the bit I don't get is like, that's why I'd want to see them win it in the right manner. In the Champions League, I get you just want to get over the line and win the Champions League for the first time. So if an
Yeah.
easy draw helps you to do that, then so be it. But tough. And if they blow it, I mean, I love if Bodo Glimt knock them out. I honestly, I'll go as far. If Bodo Glimt knock them out, I will not recognize them as Premier League champions, regardless of what happens. That will be as far for the rest of my life. I'll just someone will ask me who won the Premier League in the 2025-26 season. No one. That will just be. It'll be like that when Lance
They were
Armstrong was.
disqualified.
It was like when Lance Armstrong was stripped of his Tour de France titles. It's just like just empty. Just no one. No one won it. Any other sports topics to discuss?
Uh, no, that I can think of actually.
Non-sports wise, obviously, we started the episode with some a little bit of non-sports talk. TV wise, I guess things slowed down a bit. I
Yeah,
have been. I'd never
oh,
watched the latest season of Fargo, season 5 of Fargo. It came out a
with John
little bit
Hamm,
with John Hamm, so
it's a pretty good one.
it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
yeah,
It
that one's pretty
scratches some
good.
of my cowboy itches, like so
Yeah,
it's fine on that front, but like
and Juno Temple's actually pretty good in it.
yeah, my issue with her is I don't think she has a face that I can believe is anything other than British. Like, she just has a face where you're like, "Oh, yeah, you're British." Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, so I just can't believe that she's American. And not just in this, like, other things I've seen her in. It's not the accent, it's not the acting, like, that's fine. I
Yeah,
mean, the accent in this one's a little bit tough because she's doing a Minnesota accent, but it's not clear, I guess. She's doing a fake accent in the show, so then I don't know how to, like, judge. And then Fargo, kind of everyone puts the accent on a little thick anyway, like,
yeah,
it's kinda part of the Fargo thing. I don't really get how they pick and choose who gets the really thick accent, though, and who doesn't. Like, why doesn't John Hamm I know he's from but you know what I mean? Like, feels like everyone kinda has it, but then randomly some people don't, and I don't know if that was a, like, "Can you do it?" "No, I can't do it." "Okay, then your character will be normal."
yeah. Or you don't want to attempt it. Do you want to try? Nah, I'm good.
No. I just want pierced nipples and a cowboy hat, and
Yeah,
that's
so
that's
weird.
those are my only requirements for this season.
Yeah, we've finally been catching up on Fallout a little bit.
Nice.
It's pretty good. It's an interesting show. It's good for what it is, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, and I
Yeah,
just
it's
don't have I guess I don't never played the video game, so for me, it's
neither
just a
did
little
I.
bit of like I don't fully understand at times what's going on. Like I guess from watching Game of Thrones and some of those other shows, I understand when there's Easter eggs that if you're like a reader or a player of the game, you'll get, but you don't because you're not. And I can tell, like, oh, I bet that must be like something in the game. And I bet you people just went crazy for that. But I don't know that. So I don't care. But it's an enjoyable show. Like it's easy to watch.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with you. I mean, it's also impressive just how skull-like Walton Goggins looks.
yeah, yeah, they
You
do
know
a
what I
good
mean?
job.
Like, he just has a face built for this character. And again, I'm not trying to shit on him. Really good actor. I enjoy everything that he's in. And
Yeah.
not saying he's an ugly guy. Also not, but you just remove that nose and you don't even have to remove that much nose. It just like
Yeah.
it's good to go.
Oh,
But
I guess we can talk about the pit because I don't think we've talked about it a little bit.
no.
I want to say, so once again, they are just taking shots at me every episode now. The latest episode was a follow-up to the man who came in with the blood clots in his leg to talk about the D dimer, and the doctor to sit him down and be like, "It's okay, you're on blood thinners, you're on Eliquis." And it's just like, "Come on, are you guys like, do you have my chart now?" Like, are they like, "Let's get Frank Duca's chart and like let's call him out on this show." I thought that was really funny. Um, but yeah, definitely hitting home there. But what I wanted to say is we talked about how in season 1, obviously, there was the Pit Fest shooting, and that was, like, the big event that happened that kind of propelled the season, and we had both kinda said we would prefer it that it's not like a kind of gimmick thing every season where it's like, "Oh, now a bomb has gone off," or, "Now this has happened." And it turns out that this year's one is that there are like cyber attacks and that they have to go analog and get off of anything digital computer things. I think this is a really cool idea because it's not quite like there's a catastrophe or an incident, but I really, really like that you get to see how far medicine and science have progressed with technology, and I think people take a lot of it for granted. And I think it's really neat because earlier in the season, when the new attending was kind of pushing AI and everyone was pushing back, like, AI sucks. Like, we don't want AI in medicine and blah, blah, blah. But I think people fail to realize how integrated now medicine and doctors and hospitals are with technology. And I thought it was really cool to see, you're not even going back that far, 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, what it was like without all this technology, and, like, I think that's a really, really cool gimmick, actually, like, I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah. No, no, I agree with you. I think this is a better sort of catastrophic event than just a
Yeah.
mass shooting. And this is patently untrue in America, but where mass shooting events are a fairly common occurrence. But it just feels like the mass shooting event was sort of the easy sort
It's
of
been
option.
done before on shows. Like,
Yeah.
you could say it that way, like, it's
And
actually pretty common on any type of medical
yeah,
show.
it's also pretty common in real life, but it does sort of feel, and this is the thing I take as an issue. What I'm saying is completely wrong. But even though it's more realistic for an emergency room to be dealing with a mass shooting event, it somehow seems from in a television context more realistic for me to be watching them deal with a potential cyber attack and just shutting down their systems, even though that would happen way less frequently in the United
Yeah,
States than a mass shooting event, even though, the risk of cyber attacks in hospitals and stuff and, you know, ransomware and stuff is really serious. But
yeah.
yeah, I agree. It's just slightly more interesting. And it doesn't have to become, I guess the other difference too is with the mass shooting, everything then just becomes a shooting victim. We're
Mhm.
just watching episodes of like treating another guy who got shot, treating another guy who got shot. Whereas this, you can still see them treating a really wide range of people with the element of we don't have the machines we would necessarily be able to run tests on you with, or we're going to
Yeah.
have to deal with like how are we dealing with your charts. The only pushback I do kind of have, and again, I could be totally wrong. Young people just like, What is that?" Like, this
Well, they
reaction.
don't know, like, I'll say the fax machine thing is true because it actually happened about 2 months ago. We have a fax machine still that kinda just sits in our mailroom, and my undergrad student who's a senior, so, like, not that far off of what they would be a med student, came in and was like, "What is that thing?" I was like, "It's a fax machine." And they're like, "What does a fax machine do?" And I was like, "What do you mean what does a fax machine do?" And I literally had to explain what a fax machine was.
The only issue I have is the 2 people, and I get it's a little bit lighthearted, but the 2 people who are like, "What is that?" are the 2 geniuses. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and I get it, that's supposed to be part of it is that they have medical knowledge, but lack everything else
Yeah.
in their lives, and so sort of leans into it. But it is like, come on, you're 2 people who sort of obsess over all these details, and you can't even one of whom's parents were doctors who probably had a fax machine at home when she was a kid, probably. Like,
Yeah.
she's 25 now, probably 20, whatever she is. Probably 18 years ago, her parents had a fax machine at home. If they're both doctors dealing with stuff, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't seem crazy to me. Mid 2000s, you have
That's 2008.
yeah. You don't think a doctor, probably 2 doctors don't have a fax machine at home?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know
I
the
think
last
they
time I've ever sent a fax. I
I've never
understand I'm
sent a
not a
fax in my
doctor, but
life, and
I've
nor
sent
did
them
my pa
before, but it was a long time ago.
I've never sent a fax in my life, nor did my family ever have a fax machine at home. Now, I think we had a scanner that you could send a fax through if you needed to. I think
Yeah.
that was
Had the fax button on
possible.
it.
Yeah, but, like, never had a literal fax machine, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm showing how that kind of lost in tech, like, evolution of technology, but that's the only bit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, another solid season so far, and I again, like I said, I like the gimmick idea of this, of it not just being some another random catastrophe, but kind of a unique spin on it a little bit.
Yeah. My only other issue is, like, maybe they're making doctors a little too autistic in the show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe not every doctor, maybe there doesn't have to be a true trade-off with every doctor of, like, genius versus social skills, and I know that
Wow.
the
Well,
residents and
this is
stuff,
you not being around enough of these people.
but why? But I mean, I don't know the last doctor I interacted with who had 0 social skills. Like, and I know obviously they will exist in the same way that people with 0 social skills exist in all walks of life. But I it's it's a little too there's too many characters within the show who are a bit too, like, you now have 3 characters where they're all excellent, but their main character flaw is a lack of ability to interact with, like, lots of people very easily. And that's 3 out of 10 of the main characters. And like, that to me is a bit too, and then you've got the, like,
Well, 2 of them are med students, though.
okay,
So maybe it's just that they haven't learned yet. They haven't been around enough to know.
maybe, but
Because there is a
it's
little bit
like
of ignorance in the one guy. My only gripe is, I think, in a similar vein, is that the one character, the Ogilvy, right? Is that his name? They're
yeah,
making him
I
out
think
to
so.
be like almost like villainous. Like
Yeah.
he seems a little unrealistic, like with how
Wh
much of
why
an
don't
asshole he is.
why don't you just stop eating? Yeah, I don't think you need bedside manner training in order to be like, not just tell a fat person, like, "Why don't you go for a walk?" Yeah, there's an element there of, but
And I don't think there was actually enough pushback on him there. Like, I would have expected Dr. Ravi to, like, pull him aside and be like, "Hey, you're being a complete prick right now. Like, your job as a doctor is to help people, not to criticize and be an asshole. Stop being an asshole or you're gone." Whereas, like, he's super douchey to the handsome doctor.
Langdon.
What's his name? Yeah, Langdon. Like, Langdon's just trying he's a good doctor trying to do a good job, and he's like, "I don't fucking want you in my ER anymore." And then in the same vein, you have some guy like throwing fat jokes in front of a guy who's about to die. And it's like, hey man, like we gotta take it a little easy with the jokes. They're a little
Barely even says
insensitive.
that, just kinda gave him a look.
Yeah.
Just a, "Mm." Like, and almost a look of, "If it had been a better comment, that would be fine."
Yeah.
Like, work on your material a bit. The fat jokes could get improved before you start rolling them out. But yeah, that's my only and again, I really like the show, and I feel bad because
Oh,
you
it's a
kinda
great
get to
show.
that point where you enjoy something, but you're kind of picking hole again, because we're speaking about it, I'm sort of picking holes in it for the sake of it, rather than I'm not watching it and feeling like this is a weak, like, this is detracting
Yeah.
from my enjoyment. But it does feel a little bit more like, all right, you got 3 of them who socially awkward, super smart. You got 2 of them, good doctors, major character flaws though, and they're gritty. Like, th they're the reliable, trustworthy, like, they're the good people, but they're addicts. Like, like, we got that. Like, outside of being doctors, their lives are a mess, but in
Yeah.
here, they function. Like, then you kinda go through, it's like, "Alright, we're building sort of archetypes for doctors here that maybe we don't need."
No, yeah, it's still my favorite show on TV. Like, I genuinely look forward to it as soon as it comes out. I almost watch it that day. It's tough to, like, wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's not I don't it now is not competing against much. That's the one
Yeah.
thing, but it's, like, I'm completely out of shows.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it, really.
All right, I guess with that, we'll call it a day.
Sounds good.
Talk to you later.
See ya.
Cheerio.